Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and this is our weekly look at the real estate market here in the Villages, Florida. This week there is good news and bad news, but we're going to start with the good news. But before we do, let me make 2 points. The first is that if you're interested in a value of a house here in the Villages or interested in buying or selling a home in the Villages, please contact me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. The other points I'd like to make are firstly, make sure you check the date of the show. We produce this every Monday. Make sure that you're getting the most recent information. The second point is that all of this information is drawn from the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. It does not include any listings from the village's own internal listing service, the VLS. So let's get started. What you can see in this graph are new listings and pending sales over the last 7 days. The blue bars are new listings and the pending sales are in orange. And you can see that pending sales have outpaced new listings substantially over the last 4 weeks. Hopefully, this portends a tighter market and higher prices here in the villages. But as I said, there is also bad news, and we will get to that. But let's take a look first at what the state of listings are here in the villages. Currently, there are 200 properties for sale here in the villages, close to the elevated levels that we've seen recently, and still almost twice what we saw in April. Prices range from 174,000 to $1.975 million here in the villages. This table shows us in what price ranges these listings appear. For example, if we look at the most active price segment, which is the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, there are currently 67 homes for sale. Last week there were 69, the week prior 78, the week prior to that 79, the week prior to that 79. As always, the $300,000 to $500,000 price range is the most active here in the villages. Another way to look at listings is to look at the median listing price per square foot, and we are at the low end of the range since April. We're still hovering around $272 a square foot. We were almost at $285 a square foot at the end of May. We can also look at how long listings are staying on the market. This is the median time on the market for all listings, up from under 20 in the middle of May to double that number today at close to 40 days. This chart that we looked at earlier shows us new listings, and you can see that for the last 7 days, new listings totaled 21 on the low side, but seasonally what we would expect. This is the lowest we've seen since the beginning of April. A closer look at new listings shows us in what price segments the new listings appear. This week there are 5 new listings in the $300,000 to $400,000 price range. Last week there were 6. Week prior to that 7. Week prior to that 8. The number of new listings in the $400,000 to $500,000 price range is back to 7 after seeing a dramatic rise last week. Before we take a look at pending sales and sales that closed, I think it's important to take a look at this graph, which shows the 10-year yield on U.S. Treasury bonds. This is the market that most closely tracks the mortgage rate. One can see that for the month of August, it has been rising continually. It's back over 3%. So it does look as if we're looking at higher rates and possibly even higher rates in the future. We'll have to see what effect this has on real estate prices going forward. But for the moment, sellers in the villages seem to be encouraged. This is our look at properties that sold over the last 7 days. There have been 22 properties that sold on the low end of what we've seen over the last 6 months. Price range on properties that closed is between $280,000 and $1,125,000. A closer look at properties that closed over the last 7 days shows that 10 out of the 22 properties were in the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, by far the most active price segment, as you would expect. The week prior, the number was 6, the week prior to that 9, and the week prior to that 12. Another point that may give sellers pause is the median time on the market for properties that closed over the last 7 days. The rise in the median time seems to continue. We're currently at 25 days on the market for properties that sold, a big increase from the 5 days or less than 5 days even that we saw earlier in the year. Price per square foot on properties that closed over the last 7 days has risen to a median of $276 a square foot, which is the high end of what we've been seeing over the last 6 months. Sellers should find this data point encouraging. And the last 2 items we'll look at are what percentage of properties in the MLS have a price decrease and what is the percentage of the decrease Currently, we're still holding at over 50% of all properties that are currently for sale being reduced from their original listing price. And the median percentage decrease for all properties in the MLS is still holding at around 4.7%. So all properties in the MLS, there's an average of about a 5% decrease from the original listing price. Well, that concludes this week's look at the real estate market here in the Villages, Florida. Once again, my name is David, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. If you have any questions on real estate in the Villages, if you'd like to know what your house might be worth, if you're interested in buying or selling a home, or you'd like to be alerted when properties in your price range or geographical area of interest come on the market, please contact me, DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to keep you informed. Hope to hear from you. Take care.